You know, in a world where it feels like literally everything is shared online, have you ever stopped to think about the people who aren't? The ones who almost never post photos of themselves? Well, today we're going to dive deep into the psychology behind digital privacy and totally challenge some of our biggest assumptions about it.
It's a question that pops into our heads, right? You see someone who stays offline, and it's so easy to just jump to conclusions. Maybe they're shy, maybe they lack confidence. But what if? What if the real answer is the complete and total opposite? Okay, let's get into this.
And this right here is what we're calling the great disconnect. On one side, you have the common belief that staying offline must mean insecurity, shyness, low self-esteem. But then psychology comes in and tells a totally different story. It points to quiet confidence, high self-assurance, and a really stable sense of identity. And it's that huge contrast we're going to unpack today.
So let's really get to the heart of this. This has nothing to do with hiding from the world. Nope. It's actually about having such a strong, stable sense of who you are that you just don't need the outside world to constantly tell you you're okay.
The fancy psychological term for this is self-concept clarity. Just think of it like an internal anchor. People who have this, they know who they are. And that core knowledge isn't going to get tossed around by the crazy waves of online opinions or likes or whatever comments people throw out there. Their identity is solid. It's theirs, period.
Okay, so what's actually inside the psychological toolkit of someone with this kind of quiet confidence? It turns out there are a few key mental frameworks that are really at play here, and they allow them to navigate the world in a completely different way.
First thing in the toolkit, intrinsic motivation. And believe me, this is a total game changer. It means your sense of reward, your satisfaction, it comes from the activity itself, from running the marathon, from painting the picture, from just living that moment. It's not about the applause you get for it. The joy is in the doing, not the displaying.
And when you're intrinsically motivated, your entire focus just shifts. You're not on that hamster wheel chasing likes or follower counts anymore. Instead, you're chasing meaningful experiences. It's a really fundamental change in what you value, putting depth way, way above display.
All right, another powerful tool is getting a handle on something called the spotlight effect. You know that feeling like there's a giant spotlight on you and everyone is watching and judging every single move you make? Well, here's the truth. Most people are way too busy worrying about their own spotlight to pay that much attention to yours. Realizing this, it's so freeing. Just releases you from that constant pressure to perform.
Which brings us perfectly to our next big idea, the choice to put real life over reels. And listen, this doesn't just happen by accident. It's a very deliberate, conscious decision to prioritize what's authentic, especially in an age where it feels like online performance is almost mandatory. Think about it. Every like, every comment, every share, it's a little hit of dopamine. It's like a tiny emotional transaction. Staying private is a way of intentionally stepping off that roller coaster. It's you choosing a more stable, internal sense of well-being over the crazy highs and lows that come from external validation.
There's this quote from the source material that just nails it. It perfectly captures the whole vibe of this mindset. Real life is messy, and it's complicated, and it's beautiful, and there's a profound value in living all of it, not just the polished, filtered parts that make for a good post.
This all leads to a practice called selective self-presentation. And the key word there is absolutely selective. It's all about being in control. It's about believing that your inner life, your real life, is valuable, and that access to it needs to be earned, not just handed out to everybody. At the end of the day, it's about protecting your own peace from all the noise of public judgment. So as we start to wrap this up, I really want to reframe this entire idea. We have this tendency to see digital silence as, well, an absence, right? A void. But what if it's not an absence at all? What if it's actually a presence, a source of incredible, untapped power? So, what are the strengths of this silence really? Well, for starters, you protect your peace. You're not getting knocked around by every little bit of online drama or random opinion. Second, you stay grounded in your own reality, not some curated version. And third, and this is a good one, you become unpredictable. When people don't know your every move, you hold on to a sense of mystery and real autonomy. And honestly, that's the big takeaway here. The choice to stay private, to be digitally quiet, it isn't born from fear. It's not insecurity. It is a confident, powerful stance to take in a world that is constantly screaming for our attention. So I'm going to leave you with one final thought. In a culture that shouts from the rooftops, that values being seen and heard above almost everything else, just take a second to think about the power of what goes unsaid and what goes unseen.
What does your silence say about you?